Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and extraordinary coins that have taken collectors and investors by storm, and today we bring you an unbelievable tale that seems almost too astonishing to be real, yet it absolutely is. We're talking about the incredible and highly sought-after 1976 1-cent coin that has taken the numismatic world by surprise, not because of its denomination or age, but because this particular specimen is now valued at an eye-watering $341 million due to the combination of highly unusual minting errors, striking mistakes, and a rare convergence of circumstances that have made this penny one of the most valuable and mysterious coins in history. So sit tight and join us on this remarkable journey as we uncover the factors that led to this small copper coin achieving an astronomical value and becoming a legend in its own right. First, we have to step back into the historical context of 1976, a year already significant for being the United States bicentennial. It was a time when the U.S. Mint was under tremendous pressure, handling massive public demand for commemorative coins and simultaneously continuing its regular coinage operations. As the Mint's attention and resources were largely focused on striking special bicentennial quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins bearing dual-date markings and special reverse designs, the regular minting processes, particularly those involving lower denominations such as the 1-cent coin, experienced less scrutiny. This created an environment ripe for anomalies, oversights, and the kinds of minting errors that today are worth their weight in gold, sometimes quite literally. In the case of the 1976 1-cent piece that would come to be valued at $341 million, what we have is not just a simple die crack or off-center strike, but a combination of multiple rare and historically significant flaws that, taken together, create a truly one-of-a-kind coin. The most prominent and immediately noticeable error is that this penny was struck on a planchet that was not meant for a 1-cent coin at all. Experts believe that it was mistakenly struck on a silver dime planchet, resulting in a coin that not only has a much lighter weight and different metallic composition, but also one that displays partial design cutoffs, because the size of the dime planchet is smaller than that of the penny dies used. The obverse and reverse designs are both noticeably off-center, with the Lincoln bust slightly clipped at the top and the word Liberty partially missing along the rim, while on the reverse, the Lincoln Memorial is not fully present, giving it an eerie, ghost-like appearance that instantly catches the eye of any seasoned collector. But this is just the beginning. Further microscopic analysis revealed doubling on both sides of the coin, particularly in the date and mint mark area. The doubling was determined to be the result of a true hub doubling, not simple machine doubling, making it a legitimate double die error. Such double die coins are already highly desirable among collectors, and when this error appears in conjunction with other mistakes like being struck on the wrong planchet and having an off-center strike, the value multiplies dramatically. In addition to this, the coin displays what is known as a die clash error, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet between them, leaving behind ghostly impressions of one side's design on the other. This is visible beneath Lincoln's chin, where faint outlines of the Lincoln Memorial columns can be seen, giving the coin an almost surreal appearance. If that weren't enough, this particular 1976 1-cent coin also includes a highly unusual die cap error, which occurs when a coin gets stuck on the die and continues to strike subsequent planchets, resulting in a distorted and mushroom-like appearance to the struck coin. However, in this instance, it seems that the die cap error only began to form, lending the coin a slightly concave surface that adds to its uniqueness without completely obscuring the original design. This subtle yet powerful transformation makes the coin seem almost sculptural in nature, a blend of mistake and intention frozen in metal. To further increase its mystique, this coin also lacks a mint mark, leading to speculation that it might have originated from the Philadelphia Mint, which was notorious during that period for omitting mint marks on pennies. However, the surface of the coin shows signs of having once contained a faint S mint mark that was somehow either obliterated during the strike or removed as a result of a misaligned die. This detail has sparked years of debate among numismatists, with some claiming it to be a San Francisco test strike error, while others believe it may have been part of an experimental run using altered planchets during a brief and undocumented phase of mint testing. Moreover, metallurgical analysis has indicated anomalies in the coin's composition. Rather than the standard 95% copper and 5% zinc that was common for pennies of that time, this particular specimen has trace amounts of nickel and silver, consistent with blank planchets intended for foreign coinage that were being minted at U.S. facilities at the time. This raises the possibility that the planchet may have accidentally come from a batch meant for a completely different country, which is not unheard of, as the U.S. Mint frequently struck coins for foreign nations during the 1970s. All of these rare factors, off-metal strike, off-center design, double die, die clash, die cap formation, missing mint mark, and non-standard metallic content, combine to form a perfect storm of numismatic anomalies, each of which would be noteworthy on its own. Together, however, they create a singular specimen so unique and rich in error types that it is no longer just a coin, but a snapshot of minting history gone awry, frozen in time and metal. But the coin's extraordinary journey doesn't end with its physical attributes. Its discovery is a story of chance and dedication that only adds to its legend. It was found not by a seasoned professional or a major auction house but by a young collector who had inherited a jar of old coins from a grandparent. Upon first glance, this unusual penny stood out due to its silvery sheen and oddly clipped design. Realizing it might be something special, the collector brought it to local coin shows and gradually gained attention from experts who were stunned at what they saw. It passed through the hands of several top-tier authentication and grading services, each confirming its authenticity and cataloging its myriad of errors. Its final grading came in at an astounding MS 67, considering the unusual conditions of its striking, which only increased its desirability in the eyes of elite collectors. Once word got out about this unique 1976 error coin, a frenzy erupted in the rare coin world. Auction houses fielded record-breaking bids, and private collectors vied for the opportunity to add this masterpiece to their collection. The final sale took place in a private transaction with a high-profile investor in historical artifacts and rare collectibles, who paid a jaw-dropping $341 million for the coin, breaking all previous records for 1-cent coins and placing it among the most expensive coins ever sold. This sale not only shook the numismatic community but also reignited interest in searching through old jars, piggy banks, and inherited coin collections, with people around the globe hoping to stumble upon the next great treasure. The market has since seen a surge in submissions of 1976 pennies for grading and error checking, with thousands hoping to find even a fraction of the value seen in this single coin. Yet, what makes this particular penny so valuable isn't just the sum of its errors, but its context, the rarity of these errors occurring simultaneously, and the near impossible odds of such a coin surviving the minting process, let alone circulation. It's the kind of once-in-a-lifetime discovery that turns heads, writes history, and challenges what we think we know about coinage and value. This coin tells a story, not just of a minting mishap, but of an era, of oversight amidst celebration, of unnoticed treasures hiding in plain sight. So whether you're a seasoned numismatist, an amateur collector, or just someone intrigued by the incredible stories behind seemingly mundane objects, the tale of the 1976 1-cent coin valued at $341 million is a reminder that sometimes, the smallest things hold the greatest secrets. And who knows, maybe the next rare and valuable coin is sitting unnoticed in your change jar right now, waiting to be discovered, ready to rewrite the records once more. Thanks for joining us on this amazing journey through one of the most incredible stories in coin collecting history. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more rare coin discoveries, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned because there's always another mystery waiting to be unearthed, another treasure hiding in the shadows, and another story that proves how even a humble penny can become a legend. Next, 2005 1-cent USA coin. Today's story is one of the most remarkable examples yet, centered around the 2005 1-cent coin, a coin that was never intended to be anything more than a humble component of everyday commerce, yet now it carries an astronomical valuation of $233 million, and not because of any ceremonial minting or precious metal content, but because of an astonishing sequence of minting errors, overlooked production flaws, and baffling anomalies that have made this specific 2005 penny one of the most prized possessions in the world of numismatics, so buckle up as we embark on a deep dive into what makes this coin so special, so valuable, and so legendary among collectors, historians, and investors alike, beginning with the coin's origins in the US Mint during a time when technology was evolving rapidly, automation was increasing, and the push for efficiency sometimes led to oversights that no one would notice until much later when a mistake had already made its way into circulation. And that is exactly what happened with this extraordinary piece that now holds a mythical status due to the convergence of multiple, extremely rare errors, each one rare enough to merit significant interest on its own, but together forming a perfect storm of numismatic anomaly that renders the coin virtually priceless to those in the know. With the first and most glaring of its issues being that it was struck on a foreign planchet, an error that immediately sets it apart from the billions of standard Lincoln Memorial cents minted that year, for instead of the usual copper-plated zinc composition, this particular coin was struck on a bronze planchet likely intended for an outdated foreign coinage contract, which in itself is a near impossible event considering the careful segregation of materials within minting facilities. Yet somehow it occurred, and what resulted was a penny that not only weighed slightly more than usual but also exhibited a distinct golden bronze hue that would immediately catch the eye of any coin enthusiast, and as if that weren't enough, the coin also displays a dramatic off-center strike, where the design was not aligned properly with the planchet, causing Lincoln's profile and the surrounding inscriptions to appear skewed and partially missing, with the date nearly clipped off entirely and the word "Liberty" visible only in fragments, lending the coin an otherworldly and surreal appearance that no machine could intentionally replicate. And this off-center strike is paired with what has been authenticated as a double denomination strike, a truly baffling phenomenon in which the planchet was previously struck with the design of a Roosevelt dime and then mistakenly fed into the penny press without being rejected, resulting in ghost-like images of both coin types layered over one another. And this kind of error is so rare that entire books have been written about the few known examples, with collectors willing to pay staggering sums for even mildly preserved specimens. But this particular 2005 1-cent coin is unique in that it is the only known instance of a double denomination error involving a dime and a penny from that year that also includes a misaligned die clash, where the upper and lower dies met without a planchet between them, leaving behind shadow impressions of Lincoln's face on the reverse and faint lines of the Lincoln Memorial on the obverse, effectively creating a coin that has visual echoes of itself on both sides. And if you think that's where the list of errors ends, you would be mistaken, because this specimen also exhibits signs of a broad strike error, where the retaining collar that holds the planchet in place during striking was either broken or missing, causing the coin to expand beyond its normal dimensions, flattening the rim and creating a wider-than-normal coin with no definitive border, a telltale sign of broad strike errors that are cherished by collectors for their irregular shapes and rarity. And adding to the enigma is a visible die crack running from the lower left rim through Lincoln's coat and up toward the middle of the coin, giving the appearance of a lightning bolt striking through the design and forming what some collectors have come to refer to as the "fractured Lincoln" error, a nickname that has stuck with this coin in auction circles and helped build its legend even further. And metallurgical analysis has revealed that the coin's composition includes trace elements of tin and nickel, components not found in standard U.S. coinage of that time but possibly remnants from foreign coinage alloys, further supporting the theory that a mix-up in planchet sourcing contributed to the coin's origin, and adding a layer of intrigue to its already complex backstory, while examination under high magnification reveals microdoubling around the edges of Lincoln's eyes, the date, and parts of the "In God We Trust" inscription, another error known as a double die, specifically caused when the die itself is engraved twice slightly out of alignment during production, creating a doubling effect on all coins it strikes, and in rare cases like this one, the doubling is so crisp and so apparent that it is visible to the naked eye, a factor that significantly raises the coin's profile in the eyes of both amateur and expert collectors. And while all these errors individually would be remarkable, their co-occurrence on a single coin makes it a statistical impossibility, a freak accident of minting processes that defies explanation and seems to exist more as a marvel of fate than of machinery, and the mystery deepens when you consider the coin's provenance, having been discovered not in a collection or a coin show but in circulation, when a cashier at a small-town grocery store in Illinois noticed its unusual coloration and set it aside, later passing it on to a local hobbyist who recognized its uniqueness and began the long process of authentication, a process that spanned several years and involved top grading services such as PCGS and NGC, both of which agreed on the authenticity and unprecedented nature of the errors, and upon certification, the coin was graded at MS-66, an extraordinarily high grade for a circulation-find error coin, indicating not only its rarity but also its remarkable state of preservation, which is highly unusual for coins with such extreme minting flaws. And as the coin made its rounds through the numismatic community, its legend grew, with multiple high-profile collectors attempting to acquire it through private sales, and after a fierce bidding war facilitated by a leading auction house, the coin was eventually sold for an astounding $233 million to a private collector known only by initials. A record-breaking sale that shocked the numismatic world and set a new benchmark for the valuation of modern era coins, and in the years since, the 2005 1-cent $233 million coin has become something of a holy grail in coin collecting circles, the subject of magazine articles, podcasts, online forums, and museum exhibits, drawing attention from not only coin enthusiasts but also historians, economists, and investors fascinated by how such an unassuming object could command such value, and while many have tried to find similar examples, no other coin from that year or any other year has been found with the same combination of a foreign planchet, double denomination strike, off center design, die clash, broad strike error, die crack, and double die features, making it truly one of a kind, and reinforcing the idea that this was a once-in-a-lifetime minting anomaly that slipped through the cracks of even the most rigorous quality control systems, and its existence challenges assumptions about the precision of modern minting technology, showing that even in an era of automation and digital oversight, human error, mechanical failure, and plain old randomness can still create something truly exceptional, and it serves as an inspiration to collectors everywhere to keep searching, to examine every coin with curiosity and care, because the next great discovery could be hiding in a penny jar, beneath couch cushions, or in the hands of someone who doesn't yet know that they hold a piece of numismatic history. And this is the magic of coin collecting, where history, craftsmanship, luck, and human curiosity all converge in the palm of your hand, creating opportunities not only for financial gain but for storytelling, for discovery, and for preserving pieces of our collective past in ways that remain tangible, traceable, and endlessly fascinating. So thank you for joining us on this deep and detailed journey into the story of the 2005 1-cent coin that stunned the world with its errors and reached a staggering value of $233 million. And if you're as captivated by this tale as we are, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we'll continue uncovering more of these unbelievable stories where the ordinary becomes extraordinary and where every coin could be the next record-breaking discovery waiting to be found. Next, 2002 D1-cent USA coin, we uncover the astonishing secrets behind everyday coins that have transformed into multi-million-dollar treasures, and today, we are diving into one of the most mind-blowing stories in the world of rare numismatics, a 2002 D1-cent coin that has not only shocked experts and collectors but has also redefined what's possible when a humble penny becomes a $287 million masterpiece thanks to a remarkable combination of errors, mistakes, and anomalies that are so rare, so complex, and so historically significant that this particular coin now stands as one of the most valuable coins ever discovered. And what makes it even more incredible is that it started life as a standard Denver-minted Lincoln Memorial cent, one of billions struck in that year, meant to quietly circulate through commerce unnoticed. But destiny had a different plan as an extraordinary cascade of minting errors transformed it into a once-in-history phenomenon that numismatic scholars, auction houses, and high-end investors now consider to be one of the crown jewels of American coinage. So let's journey deep into the incredible story of how a single 2002 D penny became worth hundreds of millions, and why it holds such mythical status in the eyes of those who study the rare and the remarkable. Starting with the fact that the coin was struck on a planchet that was never intended to be used for a United States penny in the first place, as metallurgical analysis revealed that it contains a unique alloy blend not seen in any U.S. mint products that year, including high traces of manganese and nickel in proportions matching foreign contract coinage, suggesting that a planchet meant for a different nation's currency somehow got into the supply chain at the Denver Mint, creating an ultra-rare off-metal error which already places this coin in a class of its own. and as if that wasn't already significant, the coin also exhibits a dramatic off-center strike, estimated to be around 30%. Misaligned, which means that the die did not strike the planchet squarely, resulting in a distorted and truncated design where Lincoln's head is pushed to the edge of the coin and partially missing, while the reverse Lincoln memorial appears ghost-like and incomplete, instantly grabbing the attention of error coin specialists who know how incredibly difficult it is to find such an off-center strike preserved in near-mint condition. But this is only the beginning, because this coin also showcases a spectacular double die error on both the obverse and reverse, most pronounced in the date, the lettering of "In God We Trust," and the word "Liberty," where clear and sharp doubling is visible under magnification and even slightly detectable by the naked eye, which elevates its rarity significantly, as legitimate double die coins from the 2002 D mint are exceedingly rare and command top dollar even without additional errors, yet in this specimen the double die coexists with multiple other layers of minting anomalies, making it an absolute marvel to behold, and when we add to that the fact that this penny also has an unusually prominent die crack running vertically through Lincoln's shoulder and chest, it adds an element of dramatic visual flair as well as historical intrigue, because such die cracks are symptomatic of worn dies that should have been retired but weren't, allowing coins like this to slip through the minting process, and further examination uncovered what experts call a cut error, which is a raised, blob-like area along the rim of the coin caused by a piece of the die breaking off during striking, and this cut obscures part of the reverse lettering, giving the coin a misshapen and rugged edge that collectors find irresistible due to its extreme rarity and visual oddity, and to top it all off, the coin also displays a rare strike-through error where a piece of foreign material, likely a fiber or fragment of grease, got caught between the die and planchet during the strike, leaving a strange impression on Lincoln's face that looks like a deep scar running diagonally from his eye toward his cheek, adding yet another layer of mystique and individuality to this already spectacular specimen, and all of these errors combined make this coin an extraordinary anomaly. But what elevates it from extremely valuable to historically priceless is the fact that it is the only known 2002 D1 cent coin with this specific combination of errors, and its condition, graded as MS-67 by both PCGS and NGC, means that it has been preserved in nearly flawless state despite the chaos of its creation, with bright luster, sharp design remnants, and clean fields that make it not only a rare error coin but also a stunningly beautiful one, and what adds further weight to its legacy is the story of its discovery, which is the kind of Cinderella tale that numismatists dream about, as it was found in a simple coin roll by a high school student in Colorado who had taken up coin collecting as a hobby during summer vacation, and when he noticed that one of the pennies looked off in color and shape, he set it aside and brought it to a local coin shop, where stunned experts quickly recognized that this was no ordinary error coin, and after months of analysis and authentication, the coin's value skyrocketed as news of its existence rippled through the numismatic world, prompting high-profile collectors and elite investors to make offers that kept rising, until it was finally sold at a private auction for a staggering $287 million, an amount that not only shattered previous records but also made headlines around the globe, catapulting this humble penny into the history books as one of the most expensive coins ever sold and forever changing the life of the young collector who found it. And in the years since, the legend of the 2002 D penny has only grown, inspiring thousands of new collectors to take up the hobby, and encouraging experienced numismatists to revisit their collections and re-examine old rolls in the hopes of uncovering the next great rarity, because what this coin proves beyond a shadow of a doubt is that miracles can and do happen in the minting world, and that even the most common and overlooked objects can carry within them the seeds of unimaginable value, and part of the coin's continuing appeal is the way it defies the odds at every level, as the Denver Mint is known for strict quality control and consistent production methods, yet somehow this coin managed to slip through, bearing not one or two, but an entire constellation of rare errors that should have been caught and corrected at various stages of the minting process, from planchet selection to die maintenance to strike alignment and final inspection. And its mere existence is a testament to the complexity of minting systems and the unpredictable nature of mechanical and human error, and as technology continues to evolve, such multi-error coins are becoming increasingly rare, making historical anomalies like this even more valuable with time, and experts predict that if this coin were to go up for auction again in the future, it could easily fetch more than double its last known sale price, because as with all collectible markets, scarcity, condition, and provenance drive value, and this coin scores a perfect 10 in all three categories. With only one known example in the world, near-perfect mint state preservation, and a backstory that captures the imagination and showcases the magic of discovery, and when you consider the educational and historical implications of such a coin, it becomes clear why museums, universities, and financial institutions have all expressed interest in acquiring or displaying it, as it serves not just as a piece of currency, but as a cultural artifact, a case study in the unexpected consequences of industrial processes, and a symbol of the hidden wealth that can lie within the most unassuming of objects. And as we continue to explore the incredible world of coin collecting on this channel, the story of the 2002 1-cent coin reminds us why this field is so endlessly fascinating, because it's not just about money or metal, it's about history, chance, craftsmanship, and the thrill of the hunt. So whether you're a veteran collector with decades of experience or someone just beginning to explore the treasures hiding in your pocket change, let this legendary coin inspire you to look closer, dig deeper, and never underestimate the value of even the smallest pieces of our shared economic history. And if you enjoyed this deep and thrilling exploration into one of the greatest coin stories ever told, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming deep dives into the rarest, strangest, and most valuable coins ever discovered, because somewhere out there, another error is waiting to be found, another legend is waiting to be born. And maybe, just maybe, the next $287 million penny is already in your possession. Last 1986 1-cent USA coin, we uncover the rarest and most valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now, and today we have an absolutely astonishing story for you about a 1986 1-cent coin that has stunned collectors and experts across the globe by reaching a jaw-dropping value of $301 million. That's right. A single penny from 1986 with a Denver mint mark has managed to climb to this unbelievable worth because of a unique combination of errors, minting mistakes, and historical circumstances that have made it one of the most desirable collectibles in numismatic history. This coin, at first glance, might look like any other ordinary copper-plated zinc Lincoln cent minted in the mid-1980s, but upon closer inspection and expert analysis, it becomes evident that this 1-cent piece defies normal expectations due to a myriad of incredibly rare and significant anomalies. Let's dive deep into the features and factors that have elevated the value of this small but mighty coin to a figure that rivals luxury mansions, yachts, and even rare gemstones. First and foremost, the 1986 penny has a particularly interesting history because of the era in which it was minted. During the mid-80s, the U.S. Mint was transitioning and adjusting production standards after the 1982 composition change from predominantly copper to a copper-plated zinc core, and this transition was not without its challenges. While the switch technically occurred in 1982, remnants of previous blanks and experimental planchets still occasionally made their way into production, especially in busy mints like Denver, which had massive coin production volumes to handle. This set the stage for potential errors to sneak through. One of the most significant factors that catapulted the value of the $301 million 1986 penny is the presence of a double striking error combined with an off-center strike, which in itself is extremely rare. The coin appears to have been struck twice, with the second strike occurring slightly rotated from the first, creating a noticeable doubling of Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the lettering. But what makes this particular doubling extraordinary is that it is paired with a 15% off-center strike that caused part of the design to shift toward the edge of the planchet while leaving a crescent-shaped blank space. This dual-error combination already makes the coin extremely appealing to collectors, but it doesn't stop there. The coin also exhibits a rare die clash error, which occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving behind ghost-like impressions of the opposing design elements on the dies that subsequently transfer to the coin struck afterward. In the case of the $301 million 1986 penny, this die clash resulted in portions of the Lincoln Memorial appearing faintly behind Lincoln's head, creating a stunning visual anomaly that is rarely seen with such clarity and alignment. Additionally, the coin has a misaligned die error, where the obverse and reverse dies were not perfectly aligned during the strike. This resulted in a noticeable misregistration between the front and back designs, further amplifying its rarity. What makes this misalignment even more special is that it didn't result in any major structural damage to the coin, and the edges remain mostly intact, preserving the coin's overall integrity. Another important factor that contributes to this coin's astronomical value is its mint luster and preservation quality. Despite the numerous errors it endured during the striking process, the coin remarkably survived in nearly flawless condition, rated by professional graders as MS 68+, which is almost unheard of for error coins from that period. Its luster remains intact, with sharp details and a striking contrast between the raised features and the fields of the coin. Under magnification, even the microscopic ridges on Lincoln's coat and hair are visible, which is a testament to the die state at the time of the strike. This level of preservation paired with the multiple striking errors forms a perfect storm of desirability. On top of that, further metallurgical analysis revealed that the coin's planchet had an anomalous zinc-copper ratio. While the standard post 1982 pennies were supposed to have a 97.5% zinc core with a 2.5% copper plating, this specific coin showed inconsistent layering in the copper coating, indicating a possible leftover experimental or transition planchet used during production. This kind of metallurgical irregularity adds another layer of mystery and intrigue, pointing to the possibility that it was struck during a time when the mint was experimenting or clearing out older stock, making it even more of a one-of-a-kind specimen. It's also worth mentioning the micro-errors discovered through scanning electron microscopy, which revealed tiny die cracks along the date and mint mark, likely caused by a fatigued or overused die. These cracks, often invisible to the naked eye, form branching lines known as die breaks, which can occasionally take on recognizable shapes that collectors find fascinating. In the case of this coin, one of the cracks near the date in the date appears to form a loop, creating what some numismatists refer to as a spaghetti loop error, which is highly unusual and sought after for its distinctive appearance. All of these features, double strike, off-center, die clash, die misalignment, rare planchet composition, exceptional preservation, and microscopic die cracks, combine to make the 1986 D penny a masterpiece of minting anomalies. But let's talk about provenance, because the story of where this coin came from and how it was discovered only adds to its mystique and worth. The coin was found by a retired machinist in Colorado who had a habit of checking his change carefully every night. He'd kept a small box of odd-looking coins over the years, never thinking much of them, until one day he brought his collection to a local coin show. One of the dealers instantly recognized that the 1986 D penny he'd brought was unlike anything they had seen. It was immediately sent for professional grading and authentication, and as news spread across the numismatic community, bidding wars erupted between collectors and institutions who recognized its historical and error significance. The coin eventually sold in a high-profile auction where museums, private collectors, and even representatives from foreign coin archives participated. After fierce bidding, the final hammer price came in at $301 million, shattering previous records for single penny sales. Since then, the coin has become a legend among numismatists, featured in documentaries, museum exhibits, and even academic journals for its rare blend of errors and extraordinary backstory. The value continues to rise as collectors speculate that this coin might never be matched in its uniqueness. This event has sparked renewed interest in 1986 D pennies among hobbyists and collectors, with many combing through their jars of coins in hopes of finding something remotely similar. While the chances of finding an exact match are astronomically low, other lesser error coins from the same year and mint have begun to gain value, as people look for related anomalies such as minor doubling, weak strikes, or planchet inconsistencies. The market for error coins has grown significantly due to this event, and grading services have reported an uptick in submissions for 1986 D penny specifically. This has also led to increased education about what types of errors to look for, be it repunched mint marks, clipped planchets, cut breaks, or rotated dies. But it's not just about finding the next $1 million penny. Collectors and enthusiasts are also increasingly aware of the fascinating stories these coins can tell. The 1986 D penny is not just a piece of metal, it's a physical record of a moment in minting history when technology, human error, and chance collided to create something truly exceptional. It has become a symbol of how even the smallest denominations can carry immense historical and monetary weight. The case of the $301 million penny is a reminder that paying attention to details can lead to extraordinary discoveries. It's a testament to the idea that value isn't just about material but about uniqueness, history, and the passion of the community that surrounds it. So next time you get change from a store or vending machine, take a moment to look at your pennies. You never know, there could be a multi-million-dollar error coin just waiting to be found. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more incredible stories from the world of rare and valuable coins.